from. And I've been teaching these classes all over the state of Utah. I was even invited to go back to New York to teach, and it was a great opportunity to go back and teach some of the groups back there as well. I'm currently adjunct faculty with Monticello College. I don't like politics, but I love my country. And that is the only reason I'm in this race, is because I love my country enough to know that we have to stand firm on the Constitution. We can't budge an inch, because when we do, progressives and liberals take a mile every time. And so it's really important that we start to stand firm and stop giving ground up when we're back in D.C. We have to stop playing the D.C. game and start playing the Utah game, or the people's game, and just end all of this madness, because that's really what it is back there, is it's absolute madness. Now, I believe that Rob Bishop's a good man, but I also believe that when we have elected officials, it's a lot like planting crops. We put them in the field, and they do a really good job, and after we leave them in the field for too long, they start to not produce like they used to, until eventually you got to move them to a new field. Same thing with Congress. We need to rotate Congress like we rotate our crops. It's important for us to realize that no matter how good we are, when we send people to a corrupt system, they don't need to become corrupted. And I don't think they're corrupt individuals, but they get involved in a system that starts to skew the way they view things, and they believe these people are their friends, and stuff gets slid into a bill, and they're talked into believing it's just okay. And I don't want to stay there very long. My goal is 3 terms, and I'm coming, and that's a big deal to me too. And I know Rob Bishop sits on some pretty good committees with the lands, but they're just pretty please committees. Pretty please can Utah have its land? Pretty please can we get to our resources? And we have to stop thinking that we have to do things the way Washington tells us. We need to gather a coalition of Western United States congressmen and senators, and then gather the other 10th Amendment Constitution-loving senators and congressmen from all over the United States. And we need to tell the federal government, you release not just Utah's lands, but all the lands of the Western United States, because we would have such prosperity in America, it would be amazing. Put that line in there stronger, so that government is on its own ground, business is on its own ground, and we stop playing favorites. Our founders took 3 months to debate 4 pieces of paper, our Constitution, and we passed bills that are 2,000 pages long in 24 hours. That's crazy. A good legislator will protect your rights, not pass more laws. Laws there are on the books now, thanks to Dan. So I don't think we need more laws. What we need to do is get back to a constitutional government. First time we went through a fourth turning in just American history that you're familiar with, we actually had the Declaration of Independence signed, and then we went into the Revolutionary War, and then we had the Constitutional Convention, and we created our founding. And that's when it starts over again, it's when things start getting good again. Now, for most of you, the Patriot Act is a bill that annoys you because when you go to the airport, you have to get scanned or rolled. Yeah, your Fourth Amendment is totally violated every time you go to the airport. So, for me, that was the way it was as well. A couple of years ago, I took some money out of my bank account and I put it away in a safe. And then I did it again, because I was watching the markets. I trade the markets from time to time. Although if I go to Congress, I won't do insider trading, just so you know. I took some more money out and put it away, and then I did it again. And so I had this cash that I wanted to work in because I was really concerned about the global economy and the ups and downs of the market that was occurring. I got a call from my bank. You've been flagged because of the Patriot Act. I was like, what? What'd I do? I stayed under the $10,000 limit. I was being a good girl. And they said, no, we need to know what you're doing with all this cash. It's none of your business. That was my answer. Of course, they didn't like that. They said, no, really, we need to know what you're doing with your cash, because if you don't answer our questions, we're going to turn you over to Homeland Security. I could not believe this. I am an American citizen. I earned the money. I put it in my bank account. I took it out of my bank account. Where's the law I violated? Well, under the Patriot Act, I was flagged. So we went round and round for a long time, and then they finally said to me, look, are you funding Al-Qaeda? I was really asked that question. I kept thinking, if you only knew me, you can see my house. I'm like, it's Americana all over the place. I even have a big giant, I don't know, it's how tall is that thing? 3 feet, 4 feet high? 4 foot high engraved Declaration of Independence. It's just cool. And I love this country. I love our founding documents. I've studied them for years. So I was really shocked that I was going through this. So that was my experience with the Patriot Act and some of this global governance that's occurring because of the changes in our country. And then the NDAA happened, and I jumped into this race. And since I've jumped in, I've learned a lot more things that I would do differently than our current representative. And that's no disrespect to him, but I think that there are some things that we disagree on, and I would like to have you have the opportunity to ask me some questions about that. Before we go, we're only 10 years into this. What's left? We're going to face the hardest time in our lifetimes in the next 10 to 15 years. And nobody here knows what that's going to feel like, because none of us were adults during the Great Depression. We might have been little children, some of us. None of us were adults and really felt the pains of that time period in history. So we've got a rough road ahead of us. But if we will stick to the principles of liberty, we're going to survive this. Because we have two choices. I mean, literally two choices in front of us. When we come out on the other side of this fourth turning, we will either be a European-style socialist nation, for sure, or we will be free. And I don't think we have any options. I don't think we have any middle road anymore. We've done the middle road for the last 100 years, and we can't do it any longer. We have to pick. We're at a point, and I think it was Dan was talking about this, where we have a small window of opportunity. In the next 3 years, if we don't turn things around, we are going to face financial collapse by strong stance with our founders who say peace, commerce, and friendship with all nations, entangling alliances with none.